Hey, all you wild creatures out there, and you classic creatures, we are going to be talking Battlezoo Classic Ancestries, Classic Creatures, and Howl of the Wild today. I'm Dan.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Jacob. This is Mush, and we are all here to chat with you about first, roll for combat.
But first,
We have to
Clink.
clink and drink. We'll get there.
we are doing a new setup. As always, let me know how sound resounds in your ears.
Stop.
How the
We
coughing
got a
resounds in
doggo
your ears.
cam too.
Teasing. Yes, we have a dog.
Can you hear us?
Yes,
Awesome.
that
All
is
right.
our dog Freya.
First product we are going to talk about is something. Yeah, that's your fault, DM Tales, but we're not going to do this all night.
Yes.
Lady Hawk is here. The first product we are going to talk about is Roll for Combat's Classic Creatures. It introduces multiple ancestries, monster ancestries, that is, to play. We didn't discuss who was going first.
We didn't.
So,
Take it away,
I
Captain.
guess I get to go first. Victory! Just kidding. One of the ones that popped out to me right away was Mimic. The idea of playing with a Mimic, or as a Mimic, is awesome. Or with a Mimic.
They're not hearing you, Jacob.
Oh, no!
Let's see. Go ahead and talk. Michelle, are you hearing him in the...
La, 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 la. So, resounding fine for now, as long as Jacob isn't talking about... Oh, no. He can hear me. I think he's heckling me.
Oh. Wes! You know how stressed I get when I stream.
We hear everyone. Yeah,
He's
no. they're-
teasing.
Yeah.
I can't hear you. La la la.
So, we're going to dive back into this.
Restart.
Wes is so happy right now.
And Great Mustache did it too. So
Oh,
thanks,
it was
Mustache.
these guys were at it.
Now I forgot what I was doing.
All right,
We
got that out
are
of
talking. That's
Stop
well,
looking at chat.
We're talking about mimics and their tongues and the licking they can do.
Here we go.
So in the classic creatures from Battlezoo Ancestries, Roll for Combat's awesome product, you actually get to play multiple different ancestries. And the one that I saw right away that I was like, woot woot, mimics. How cool would it be for someone in your party to play as a mimic? Now, hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but no, they've been reformed.
Treasure chest hopping around.
No, better yet, picture one of your teammates riding in a mimic wheelchair. Come on, come
pretty
on!
epic.
Like you just strolling, right? I mean, you're strolling into a place, and next thing you know, you're fighting the wheelchair and the guy. I mean,
That's pretty funny.
come on. Are you sharing any of the images yet?
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Where's the mouth? Is it sitting right there?
Well,
Sorry, I might be thinking.
Nope.
too hard.
maybe it's on the back, right? Yeah. Our poor producer. We went
It's
live.
part of the flaw that it can't bite its fellow.
Yeah.
PC. It just has
Sorry,
to sit
guys.
there.
But how cool would it be to play as a mimic? I think it'd be really fun. I mean, you have all of the what?
It reminds me of what's that show with the turtle shells? Discworld. Discworld with
Okay.
the
Oh wow.
That's funny.
I can't remember the wood. Chat, shout it out in chat what that treasure chest is. I love that. Also, Pathfinder lost the mimic due to
Right. So that's so interesting. So if you
Certain
want the mimic
things.
back, you just make it as a player character and use it as an NPC. So boom, fixed, done.
DMPC it.
DMPC it. Whatever.
Whenever the players are being bad, you just bite them.
Oh dear. So what
So-
can the mimics look like? Or what can they be?
I mean, they have a whole bunch of different options. There is there's different heritages. So you start with choosing your mimic, and then they have like the amphibious mimic. So it's like you're a larva, you traverse underwater, stuff like that. Then they have a hunter mimic, and then they have the mini mimic. And I think they had a couple others like Quicksilver and Trickster. And so you're just different styles of mimics. I know some of the images they have where you're literally a treasure chest it's got like a hat and it's using its like tentacles. It's what are they called? The
Sapien Pearwood. Thank you, Wes.
what are the tentacles called on a mimic? I forget. The pseudopod, right?
Is it? I don't actually know.
It's a pseudopod, I believe. I'm having a hard time remembering, but it has
yeah.
they have like really. It's literally a treasure chest, and he's holding a bow, with a Robin Hood hat. I think she's trying to find it right now.
Yeah.
Page 105, I believe.
So we're gonna have Michelle all over the place.
She's gonna be great.
Yes, pseudopods. Pseudopods. Yeah.
Yeah. Pseudopods. And it's just, the idea is just really ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But I think it is so fun to have this as an option. And you still have your like adhesive abilities. There's feats that allow you to customize that. So you're like, the one of them that popped up to me was adhesive grappler. So you could play a barbaric mimic.
A lot of the art gives me Beauty and the Beast vibes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
They're
actually,
mimics.
that
Like
would
the
be
wardrobe.
fun.
They are really mimics.
Oh
right?
man,
Makes a lot of
you can
sense.
make a Beauty and the Beast one shot.
That
You
would
have
be
it.
actually
funny.
really
Everyone's
cool.
Different.
I love this urn thing that looks like it's from Hercules.
Ah,
And it's got a helmet on top of the
what
urn.
page number is that for poor Mush?
It was
Page 107.
Okay.
I got you.
That one is really funny.
So they offer things like devour treasure as one of the things. You forge a connection between yourself and a treasure chest on the ethereal plane, allowing you to gorge on treasure and send it there to retrieve it back into yourself later, back and forth. You can spend 1 minute devouring treasure, allowing you to store items. So if somebody was to play as a mimic as your group, they're your spacious pouch. I mean, don't make them mad.
Right.
You won't get your item back, but I
You
don't
can
know.
join the item.
Yeah. So on the screen right now is the urn mimic.
They get some. I love Roll for Comic. It's great.
Their art is fantastic. It is something else.
And I know Steven always tries to get it to match the vibe of the things that they're building as well. It's so good.
Did you show the one on 105?
Yes.
Okay,
Bless
that's like my
my
favorite one.
soul, the urn is on a roll. I have no more. That's all I have.
Make a mimic bard.
Oh man.
Are there? We kind of all picked certain parts of this to focus in on. So I haven't read the mimics yet. Do
No,
they
I
have any
haven't.
class restrictions or anything? It's just an ancestry.
No, just an ancestry. I
So
didn't
we can
see,
have a mimic bard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Beauty and the Beast again.
Yes.
or a
Be our
mimic
guest.
or a mimic barbarian. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just love the
that's
idea of
true,
just
too.
like
A bard, barbarian.
The mimic bard would be that the chest, right? That has all the dresses in it.
The wardrobe.
The wardrobe.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
that's so funny. So roleplay wise, like I said, I love the idea of like your teammates using it as something to disguise, to infiltrate a building. Like, so I got this idea a little bit from one of the campaigns I ran, and I actually used the mimic stats because it came out just in time, and they were infiltrating a casino. It was kind of an Ocean's 11 feel. It was actually a lot of fun. We ran it in Pathfinder 2nd edition, and he rode on the mimic. He was a halfling. It was great, you know.
Yes.
What was his name? It was like Dr. Doodlesack. No, that was the other one. It was great though. It was fantastic.
That's
it was like
such an
Von
RPG
Berger. I don't know.
character.
It was so great. It was fantastic. But yeah, no. So there is a ton of other ancestries in here. Like I said, the mimic was the one that popped out to me right away because it feels like it could fit in your party. It could be utilized as a really fun tool, but it also creates insane role play, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely. And like, correct me if I'm wrong, but each of the ancestries gets like 15 to 20 pages. of
yeah, no, there's a
info.
ton. I mean, there's
Like,
all the
a
feats right to
huge-
level 20. Yeah, I mean,
and the online there's we got the whole set with the artwork with they separate it into folders, like separate PDF documents for each ancestry. So Roll for Combat.
now, one of the things real quick that they do suggest, Roll for Combat is awesome. Sorry, I got excited.
No,
about
you
something. Mimic, they have the thing on the sidebar. It says Mimic Adventures. Mimic Adventures tend to choose Mimic Adventurers, so you guys playing it, tend to choose classes that let them ambush or trick others. That is the only suggestion. So you're not stuck playing, but you can play whatever you want.
Right.
But there's they would tend to lean that way, which makes sense.
For sure. Yes.
So, all right. Well, I like the Mimic. What did you like?
Me?
Yeah.
I went with the dungeon.
Who wants to play as a dungeon?
Who wants to play as a dungeon?
I don't
And
understand
I
how
know
this
Mark
works.
and Steven have joked about it a bunch. So I was really fascinated. I should pull up my notes. I was really fascinated by how this would be pulled off. So basics are the dungeons become sentient. And I love Mark wrote this whole lore behind it, and it's really cool. And it's from, I can't remember the doctor in this moment, but there's like someone who's studying this and talking about all these different classifications. And on top of that, they built in lore they built in 𝕮𝒏𝒻. 𝕮𝒏𝒻 is mentioned in the dungeon lore. Potentially an 𝕮𝒏𝒻 could die. So one of the ways a dungeon becomes sentient is that some monsters die within there and the dungeon kind of takes on the personality of that monster. There's a lot of different ways that are broken down, but the sentient dungeon manifests an avatar eventually, which is like the dungeons. I love the way you describe it, is the dungeon's way of going through puberty and becoming an adult is by they become sentient and then they manifest. There's a core part of the dungeon that then manifests an avatar that then you can go out and play as, and they're linked together. So built into the lore, if the avatar dies, the dungeon loses its sentience or its sapience, and vice versa. If you can destroy the core, the avatar dies.
So awesome.
It's really cool idea.
Very interesting.
I mean, how fun to run a mini campaign where you guys are all playing these creatures, you know?
Yes, and there's really great lore in there. It's fascinating, and then also built into it, you can bring the party, yourself, the avatar, and the party into the dungeons to explore rooms. And by unlocking and defeating certain floors within the dungeon, you can gain access to some of the feats, also do a lot of narrative play there. I did love that it mentions at one point potentially the idea of a dungeon avatar going into other dungeons outside of the enthusiast, I think was the one build. That it might be like, it's kind of like embarrassing and they might blush because they're seeing the inside or like be in awe of the like taking in another dungeon. I love that, just that idea. There's so much to RP. I also love the idea that you're RPing something young and old at the same time. Now that's kind of my take on it, especially the Soul Prison was one that I really liked because you have the dungeon's lifetime to pull from, and yet it's only maybe freshly manifested itself, especially if you're starting at level 1. So it's almost like just become a young adult and it's going out into the world.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, the Enthusiast was one that liked to challenge other dungeons that I thought was really interesting. The only thing I was curious about, and I've only read through it once, so I want to read through it again. I personally was really interested in this. I have a character I'd like to play that I've already played before that I think could be rebuilt as a dungeon. It would be really cool. But the only negative side to it I saw is it could become a star. What do I want to say? Like the hero player for only hero character.
Yeah. Kind of like
if
the
you
focus.
get too focused.
Yeah.
Because it has so many cool things. Now, they have a lot of recommendations in there. One of them being like the dungeon floors that you unlock and stuff could be done in between missions and stuff. So it could be very connected. A lot of it, that was the one thing I was like, this does have to potentially be a certain player that's really interested in it. On top of connecting with the GM, because it never specifies like how much does the player or the GM. I mean, they definitely talk about it and give suggestions, but how much do the player and the GM build the floors in the dungeon and flesh that out? So that's one thing to look at with this that I think, obviously with all these monsters, it's a very unique situation where you choose to do this. But I think the dungeon especially, that could fall into that. So you'd have to be careful with that. Unless, like they recommend in it, you build a whole kind of campaign out of that, exploring the dungeon and unlocking the secrets. It's like the avatar could be discovering themselves through it. But again, that might get the first, I can't remember what the term is, but like we're one main character syndrome. Thank you, Wes. My brain's not working today. Main character syndrome. There's a potential there that could happen. I don't think it has to. And also they totally talk about how you can just kind of throw all that out at the floors and stuff and it wouldn't matter as much, but you do potentially lose access to some of the feats because there's certain feats that you need to have cleared a floor. Other things are like they go into archipelago could be it. It doesn't just have to be your traditional dungeon. There's
Within a
different
tower
options. Yes, the tower.
I mean, that was like, that sounds
and that's
epic.
basically
like,
it's not the backgrounds. I can't remember. It's
heritage.
Heritage. Thank you. Because you can also pick a background. The background is based on the avatar and how they've experienced the world potentially. But the heritage is what type of dungeon you are.
They had a tree heritage.
Yes, I saw that
That's
where you take on the plant aspect.
They have a Leviathan one.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
You can live on a creature,
Yeah.
like a giant.
Wouldn't
That's
that be
where they're
that's
like
so
these
epic
ones. Yes.
Yeah.
And they talk about how either it's alive maybe, or maybe it's undead, like a great old one that's died and it's the carcass and that's what the dungeon is. It's such a cool
wild.
idea. Very unique. I definitely think it's certain players that are gonna need to do it. And
Or you run it at a convention and you run the
Yes.
DMPC as like the Leviathan,
Right.
and you're working with him as the NPC alongside of you to unlock more and grow.
That's true.
I mean, that would be kind of cool.
And
That'd
I
be a
think-
great one shot to run in New Jersey.
Absolutely. They talked about the enthusiasts too. You could do a party of mimics. You could do a party of dungeons where they're challenging each other. So you're moving through each person's dungeon.
Trying to help each other grow. And
Yes, you're all trying to grow and test each other and challenge each other and
Man.
right. So it's really interesting. It's almost a character and a campaign all mixed together.
That's cool.
Or you can sprinkle it in. So it's
Yeah.
really cool, but I think it does take a little more heavy lifting. And they definitely talk about that in there. It gives a lot of good examples and cautionary things about
tons
how
of
to do
sidebar
this.
things that
Yeah.
are just like, hey, this is something to consider.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And it's all Mark too, right? It's just Mark's thing. Mark's so good at breaking that stuff down.
It's so
and
beautiful.
like,
The whole thing is beautiful.
yeah.
𝑟ollforGauntlet does a great job.
So, anyways, I'm really interested. Maybe at some point we'll run a thing. I got to talk with Jake in the behind the scenes, but I'm really interested in a character he already knows that could be retranslated as a dungeon,
All right.
which I'd
All
love
right.
to do.
All right. Did you see the treehouse dungeon?
Yes.
The image is like,
It's
fantastic.
again, the art
Looks like you got to buy the book and look at page
yeah,
54.
I guess you're going to have to.
Yep.
Don't show him much.
Don't show
No,
much.
That's
Make 'em
behind
go buy the book.
scenes. You got to pay for that content.
Maybe we'll show it to our patrons. How about that?
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
You know what?
Behind the scenes. We We keep recording
He
after
said
the stream
do-do.
goes. Thank you.
He said,
We do stream. We keep recording after the stream, and that is all behind the scenes content for our locals and Patreon supporters. So
What's the one Labyrinth movie with David Bowie? Because he could be the personality of the Labyrinth.
yes, that's
What is that
I did
one?
not think about that one. Well, it's the labyrinth.
Is it the Labyrinth?
Yeah.
was it
Oh,
called
is
just the Labyrinth? I
Is
think
it
so.
the Labyrinth?
Yeah, it's the
okay,
Labyrinth.
so the Labyrinth. It's David Bowie is the manifestation of the Labyrinth.
One of his superpowers.
That's awesome.
I love that. So
Well,
play as a
Very
dungeon.
cool.
Play as a mimic.
Yeah.
Play as a mimic in the dungeon.
I mean, real quick, we'll just do before you jump in,
Yeah,
because
go
I am
ahead.
excited to do
Yeah,
yours. The list of other creatures that they have in here, we should cover that real quick, just so
Yes,
you guys
definitely.
know. There's Oni.
Yep.
There's I have to go to the top of my list here. Minotaurs, which is interesting because we're going to be talking about Howl the Wild here in a little bit, and they have the Minotaurs in there too. And so we were actually looking at comparing them a little bit. We're not going to do that this episode, but they have demons. You can play as a demon. And what's cool is it's not just demons. They give you feats from ancestry feats from level 1 to 20 for all of these. They give you your heritages. And so you can really flesh out a freaking awesome character. You know, it is, I really enjoy it. So demons, doppelgangers, the dungeons, gremlins, which I think could be a lot of fun
That
too.
would be fun.
Definitely like a chaotic group to play with. Now this one here is something that another one that I really wanted to cover, but we only have so much time tonight, was intelligent weapons. The idea of playing as the intelligent weapon, it's really cool. You get essentially you get an avatar that controls you is one of the options, or you can just literally be a floating weapon. There's, the intelligent weapons. I thought were-
Discworld again.
Yeah,
The
right.
sentient sword.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Mimics, which I covered. Minotaurs, which I talked about. Then we have nymphs, which she's going to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
And then you have slimes. And then
What's 𝒐𝗏𝗏?
they are.
How do you say that?
I'd have to go look. It's like a fairy, fae touched person, if I
Okay.
remember correctly. It was one I didn't dive into fully. I'm a little bummed. I had a person 2 years ago now. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago now when I started doing the professional dungeon master, wanted to play as a slime. I'm like tempted to reach out to him and be like, hey, we have slimes now.
Yeah.
And so, but
I think Wes designed a slime in another system, so now you can do it in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
yeah, Wes, you should really jump on board.
Wes.
All right. So without further ado, Kristen, what are you bringing to the table for us tonight?
Yes, I'm going to talk about the nymphs,
The Druid's table.
which are, I think, like more of like a more normal thing. They're kind of like Druid-like, Fae-like. They're living manifestations of the natural world's beauty. Each nymph's life force is deeply tied to a ward, a place of awe-inspiring natural beauty. Nymphs and wards protect each other, growing metaphysically together in a symbiotic relationship. However, this bond restricts a nymph to a small area around its ward, which you can leave if you want to at some point. But let's see. The different heritages you can have. You can have aura, which is kind of like breezes and winds. So you can control the wind, slow your fall, protect yourself from landings. You can be a dryad, which I thought was interesting because in 5e, they're very separate things, is a nymph and a dryad. But in this, they're kind of like
Welcome to Pathfinder.
mushing them together, which it makes it simpler. So, of course, the dryad is like the trees and typically oak trees, they say in this one. So I like maples myself. And then 𝕮𝒆𝒏𝒅𝒔𝒗𝒆𑑒𝒕. It's the meadows, pastures, and orchards. So you can produce magical fruit imbued with primal magic. You can do...
All the names are so Pathfinder. I love it.
That's great.
𝗏𝒄𝒄𝒄. So it's the sunset light. So you can transform a
Sunset
large
specifically.
object into a golden apple for safekeeping.
Oh, wow. That is cool.
So those are some of the... Oh, there's also Lampad, the cavern nymph.
Yeah.
So that mercurial emotions and the ability to create lanterns to guide the lost underground. So you gain dancing lights. And Naiad, which is a freshwater one. So lakes, springs, ponds. You have the swim, feet. And yeah, so it's like everything's all about nature. And you can be female or male. It doesn't matter. So it just seems like a more... It seemed like the most normal one to me. I was like, I
I
can
love
do
she
this
said that, and
one.
there's like a green-skinned, like,
I'm
elf.
looking at half water.
It's so
Pretty
true.
normal.
They
In
can
fairness,
look,
though, furniture and dungeons.
yes, compared to furniture
Right.
and dungeons, I'm like, oh, I guess mine's kind of normal. But yeah, it's like a mix of a druid and a fae.
What is
kind
normal in Pathfinder?
Kind of
Edition?
character.
I mean, what is normal in a
What
fantasy
is
world?
normal? I know.
Help me.
I'm loving this all so much, though. All of these different creatures.
And it's funny too, talking about the art again. It's so classy for the nymphs. Like it's
Yes.
nice and beautiful, and they're kind of ethereal-ish, or some are dark and scary versus the
yeah.
furniture for the mimics.
I know
It
it's
just makes you laugh.
Because like nymphs, like isn't it like you look at them and you can die, like because they're just so beautiful and in
some
It depends on mythology. Yeah, not
mythologies.
necessarily
Yeah.
Pathfinder
Yeah, yeah.
mythology, but yeah, I mean, the idea is
so
there.
it's a very interesting.
What I think is cool, so you combine this. I'm
Yeah,
interrupting.
go ahead.
Cool. You combine this with the new kobolds in the new monster
Remastered.
core. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Yeah, and you know, if you have a player who's playing a kobold, they could have or even a relationship in the sense of like they got the kobold magic from the nymph, because the idea was that
right, 'cause
they
they can
cast
choose
their
the
eggs
masters.
next to a powerful creature, or that would be the idea. So they no longer worship the dragons like they used to. They could any powerful creature.
Yeah.
Right.
So like that's really kind of a
And
unique
this could
like
go so
high-level
many different
nymph.
ways.
Yeah.
You can
That's
have
cool.
water ones.
You
You know,
could
you
get
can have
followers
tree. You
that are-
could have,
yeah.
you know,
Or
they could look very different.
you can make it a baddie, NPC it, and make
That's
it one
true.
of the head baddies that's
Right.
like growing a following,
Oh.
wants to become a deity, like a primal or
Make it-
primal planet.
make
deity.
it part of the beginner's box. You know, there's maybe there's kobolds in there. And
There are.
go watch the other stream.
Yes.
And oh no, we're done. We're done.
He's planning. He's world
digress.
building.
My brain just went.
That's I know where you're going with it, and I really like
right.
it.
I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna have to alternate endings.
Especially with our version where there's a logging business and everything too. Can still do it.
Too many options.
Yep.
Too many.
Awesome. So if you guys get a chance, check out their product. All of their products are fantastic. I
We
can tell you right
barely
now.
touched, as Jake did
yeah.
with the list. We
I
barely
barely
touched.
touched them. I mean, even one of our viewers here mentioned about the fusions, which is actually not. I don't think it's in this book. It's in a different book. But Battlezoo
Ancestry,
Roll for Combat.
yeah.
So they did a fusions. We get to play as four-headed Hydra,
Yes.
or
Oh, I did hear about
two-headed
that.
troll, three-headed Cerberus, the dog.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. Well, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. We will talk about it at some point because I tested it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and
So-
a quick shout out because like they were throwing in other lore, like I said from Eldamon in the dungeons. They make it so well that you could combine
All of it.
all of it together. And then have, like a multi-headed nymph
Could you-
with different
multi-headed
elemental powers.
Could you imagine in our Kingmaker game if I
You make
brought,
Captain Planet. Sorry.
but if I attacked like a group of people with a Hydra and had like 4 players run it,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Oh wow.
That would be so cool.
Really
All right.
cool.
Well, I digress. All right. That is it. I mean, that's all I have. You guys anything else?
I mean, there's a lot of awesome things, but
Yeah.
you got to get it.
And look
Go
at the
get it.
art.
Links
The
in the
art
description.
is
Well-
epic.
Yep.
Absolutely. I
I
think it's
love
time to clink and drink to that one. What do you think?
Yes.
Roll for combat. Battles of the
combat.
Ancestries Classic
Hey, I have somebody I can
Creatures.
clink
Hey!
with. Cutie. She's not a mimic. Hell Hydra. All right. Moving past
Ready.
our next topic is a book that if you go back and look, I've been excited for a long time. Since the announcement, Dan. I think I
yeah.
called you. I called you and I was like, Dan,
Yes.
you know what's coming?
Our video that we shot 10 months ago is all of a sudden getting clicks again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we were
yeah.
so ahead of the curve.
Well, because it is exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so this is Druid's Table, if you haven't figured that out yet. And Howl the Wild has just been released. We have the book. It's behind me. I'm not going to grab it. But it is back there. Can they see it in the shot? Let's wait. Where do I go?
Probably not.
I'll get
Nope,
it. You
wrong
keep
way.
talking.
All right. It is the most recent book that has been released. There's also Adventure Path being released alongside of it, which her and I, Mush and I here, have actually read a little bit of it, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. Howl the Wild.
Beautiful.
First
And
of
our
all-
kids love it too.
First of all, someone needs to talk to Paizo, and they need to say, hey, ribbons. Ribbons.
Ribbons.
Where are the ribbons?
He's scared the dog.
Sorry, puppy.
No, she just wants pet.
First of all, the first thing you see when you open up, I know the camera can't see this, but it is absolutely a gorgeous map of all of Galarian. Like, it is so beautiful. Because one of the things they add, yes, thank you, DM Tales. Absolutely book ribbons. One of the things they added into this was like a lot of exploration things with an airship.
Yes.
It's really cool.
Baron Thut.
Yeah, it has a name. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baron Thut traveled on an airship. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's literally like a little cool, I mean, it's well done. It's Paizo, guys. Come on. But like they have the airship.
That's
I know you guys
so
can't
cool.
see it. You might be able to actually bring
I
it
love
up.
those
It's on-
kind of steampunk ship
It's on page
things.
6. Yeah. I
They're
love the idea of
epic.
airships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airships are so fun.
So we're gonna grab a couple things out of this book that we really enjoy. I went first last time, so I think it's someone else's turn.
Not me.
Make Michelle do it
Mush,
all.
you go first.
No. I think our boys looked at it more than I did. I
Oh.
just kind of watched over their shoulder.
My kids have been poking through this nonstop. Like I had to hide it at one point because I'm like, all right, this is Daddy's book because it's wild. It's crazy. I mean, on the cover you have a Minotaur hanging off an airship. Minotaur. So we have another opportunity to play a Minotaur class.
I like how you say that.
Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Minotaur. I've always loved the cowfolk. Well, back in the day when I played World of Warcraft.
I just let him say it that way.
Thank you.
I love you.
I appreciate it. I just say things weird, okay?
No, it's perfect. Never change.
Am I going first again? Is this how it's
Do you,
gonna work?
I mean, I could go first.
Thank you.
All right, let's do it.
For it.
I chose to focus in on the animal companions because 75% of my characters have a companion. So there are
Usually they're wolves.
usually they're wolves. They're either wolves or a pixie.
or pixie. That's true.
Shout out to our Kingmaker Westmarch campaign. You guys know what I'm talking about. I saw Casual Gamer in there. Hey,
I know. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
We need to do a shout out for our recent subs, by the way. Thank you, Casual Gamer, for joining the ever growing forest. Thank you to all who support us. But animal companions, there are 19 new companions. I believe I counted correctly. My OCD got a little upset that it wasn't 20, but there are 19 new companions listed there. 10 advanced, 9 regular. The advanced ones you have to hit certain level tiers to get access to. They're all mounts. They're big hippogriff. There's an orca.
Is that where the giraffe was?
No, giraffe is regular, actually. Giraffe is one of the
awesome.
options in the regular.
But it's regular.
That's normal.
It's normal.
Right.
You have a giraffe.
If you're getting advanced, you got to earn it. For the rock, there's not the rock, but a rock.
You have a
I was like,
rocket?
rocks in
Right.
this book? I didn't see that.
Although we could reflavor it, right? We could,
Yeah.
we could build him.
So is this like Frozen? They all like roll and.
No, no, it's a bird kind of creature.
Oh.
R-O-K.
I was
ROC.
thinking, yes.
It is R-O-C.
It is
Sorry.
ROC. Yes, it's
She's
more
picturing
like
the little, like,
Yeah.
whatever those creatures are called.
what would like Aerodactyl Pokemon.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's more dinosaur, but yeah, it's like a bird creature that can come down. The two advanced creatures that really jumped out at me that I thought were one was the orca, kind of specific to a water
Free
campaign.
Willy.
Well, that's the thing. Is this
show-
book offers a ton of water campaigns,
Right.
Merfolk,
Yep.
orca riding, fish
It's so
folk.
funny. And there's an artwork. Michelle might be able to pull it up. It's down near the bottom, so it's probably page 95, 96.
The orca, yeah.
It has an orca with a saddle on
There you
it.
go.
Oh, she's
Producer, she produces.
She produces.
Yes.
We may be getting a shirt for her. That one, and then the other one, just the orca. It's so unique. The other one was the I have it here. I should look at my notes. Umbrella mushroom,
Yes.
which gets the fungus trait instead of the animal trait.
I like
but
that.
it comes with a little like foot hook sort of thing, so you can ride it. It is a mount and
Yep.
it floats.
It's considered a
You
large
can Mary
creature.
Poppins it.
Yes, and it floats
It otherwise
with you.
functions as an animal companion, but it is a umbrella mushroom that has the fungus tree.
And it floats along with you, and you got a little foot stirrup thing, and you can hop on it and
That's
ride it if you need
awesome.
to. And I think that's one of its abilities is to get you away quick, or buoyancy. I
Yep.
think was its special if you get it up to nimble or savage. So you can go, you start young, and then you can up your companion to mature, and then you get the nimble or savage, and it can go from there. So those
Casual gamers asking, are there undead ones?
No, I don't think I saw any undead.
Not in this book.
There is one of the cool ones that kind of brings it to one of the cool regular ones, so lower level you can get access to, is the, I want to say it right. Shatalashu, I think.
Gesundheit.
So that I believe comes from like Starfinder too, or so, because it's from another planet. I can't remember off the top of my head, but some have come from the elves and the Lashunta, I think if I'm pronouncing it right, have
Yes.
brought them over to Glorian.
Correct.
They have telepathic abilities.
Correct. That's
and
the Luchanda also.
That one looked really cool because the Lashunta kind of gave me Avatar vibes, the blue ones, not the
Yes.
Airbender.
So wait till Starfinder 2nd Edition comes out. We'll be covering that for sure. That's going to be a
Yeah.
whole session of that.
I thought that was a really cool one, and it's a regular companion, so you can get it first level. You have to spend, what I thought was really cool about that one, because it has the telepathic abilities, you have to make a telepathic bond, and they even talk about it in the lore that even if you don't have telepathic abilities, they have found ways to still bind you with the Shatalashu. But it takes a week. Any of these, you have to take a week of time to bond with them. But the Shatalashu specifically, you have to roll a 21 in occultism to successfully pair bond. And once you've pair bond, neither of you can pair with someone else until death. And when one of you dies, the other one is staggered 2, I think. Or
Permanently or no?
for like 24 hours.
Stupefied.
Stupefied.
Yeah, yeah.
Stupefied 2 for 24
I like
hours. I
staggered,
think that's
bro.
a little low, actually.
That's
I would
a
make
little
it
low.
longer.
Yeah.
I'd punish for a little bit more, like Aragon type, where the dragon dies and you almost go insane.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that connection. They can't bond with anyone else. So I love that one, that tight knit bond. It has some really cool advanced maneuver where it can use its telepathic abilities to actually hold someone down. So if you get to the nimble or savage level, you can get that. And its support, I can't remember the support off the top of my head exactly, but it uses telepathic powers in there.
Telepathically assails your enemies.
Yes.
And when you create an opening until the start of your next turn, each time you hit a creature in the Lashu's reach with a
Yes.
strike, it does more damage.
Yes, it's so cool. And then on the total flip side of that, I have to shout out the other one that made me laugh and has an epic advanced maneuver is the flying squirrel.
I was just about to say the flying squirrel.
yeah.
Yes.
Because I had to double check this. The flying
image?
squirrel.
Be Austin's new favorite
Yes.
companion.
You're right. Swelmo. He's got wings now.
Elmo.
So the flying squirrel, advanced maneuver. So you do have to get to nimble or savage to unlock this. But its advanced maneuver is only one action point. And as long as it's dropping from above on the opponent, it literally drops and just goes and then goes up to the
Do
side.
you remember the name of it?
Death from above.
Death from above, yeah.
From above. It falls down. You get to make 2 2 claw attacks without multi-attack penalty. You do after that have a multi-attack penalty as if you've taken 2. But at that point, it's like you just got 2 for 1 action point, 2 attacks, no penalty on those attacks.
Yeah.
And it falls off of the creature to 1 square without taking damage.
Or provoking an attack by
Or
opportunity.
provoke action. That's right.
My goodness.
I kind of thought somebody really liked the flying squirrel.
Well, she just had the image up, but if you look, I think it's great. It's got a key in its mouth. Like the idea of it, like stealing. I don't know. Shiny objects. All of a sudden, the flying squirrel. Like as a DM, that would be. I would love somebody to have that animal companion. And like, hey, your flying squirrel just came back from adventuring on his own.
Yes.
And he brought you a unique looking coin. It's got a K on it and a unique face.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
You know what I'm saying though?
For plot hooks.
Yes.
And it can't talk. You can't tell.
No. I mean, it maybe depends on the level of what you do with Druid.
That's
But
true, that's true.
early on in the game, like that would be a great plot hook.
I would make it so even a druid, when it talks to it can't. Squirrels are too fast
Yeah.
and like insane. Right? Scrat's not here.
Scrat's
Scrat
not
should be
here
here. Check out Scrat from Squirrel Plays.
𝕮𝒑𝖆𝖙𝖚 and Flying Squirrel. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. Yes.
Well, actually, Casual Gamer mentioned like dog meat from Fallout 4, having.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some other
That would
great
be
ones
so
in there.
cute.
Again, it's 19 new options.
Elk, antelope.
Yes. Giraffe. This is
Listen,
the
the
goofiest looking animal.
The elk had an antler catapult.
Yes.
I mean,
Whoa.
you guys gotta
And I
check.
think all it has to do is successfully hit, and it just automatically throws the person.
Yes.
As a forced move. Like, all you have to do is successfully hit.
Yep.
Wow.
That's so awesome.
So it's really cool. I love the companions. They follow all the rules from the normal. I think it's page 207, 206 in the core rulebook
Yep.
or the player's guide. But again, 19 new options. And what I love is that it also gives you a lot more ideas. Now you can look at a breadth of animal companions.
Correct.
If you want to do something fun. Because I think back when we played Pathfinder First Edition Kingmaker, Kristen wanted to have a snow leopard. And Zach had a little trouble trying to kind of figure it out. And I think it ended up a little OP, but that's fine.
Animal companions often do, though. Honestly, they're pretty. They're pretty
Even
powerful.
compared to
No,
like
she
my
was
wolf
just
companion,
awesome.
because wolf was easy. It's already there. It's a normal one.
That's okay.
Snow
I think
Leopard.
she just gets spoiled.
She does. I mean, she was also an elf, so she's better than me.
Everything.
Danger.
Well, I like the idea.
I took
know-
down the stag lord.
She
I took
did.
his hat.
Wait, who's the stag lord? We don't talk about that here.
No, that's not
What?
funny.
What? This is a different one. Different stag lord. He's dead.
Also, the owl bear, by the way, which is one of my favorite RPG stories ever. Anyways,
They're now called parrot bears. I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
The pear bear is awesome. Shout out Roll for comment.
Did you see the riding tarantula?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean,
No.
so I like the whole.
I wouldn't want one.
No, the idea is cool.
The idea
Its
is cool.
advanced maneuver is to send its spiky hairs everywhere.
Yeah, sounds miserable.
I kind of think of it shaking like a dog and just it's like a dog and a porcupine.
For all
at the same time.
our Australian friends who have lots of those.
That's true. The big.
Oh my
spiders.
gosh.
So real quick to zone in on that one a little bit is the advanced creatures, the advanced companions. I think it's a fantastic quest line. Like
Yes.
your character, you say to your GM, "Hey, I really want the giant eel or the griffin as my advanced." So then you create this awesome quest line for this player.
Or the hippogriff.
Yeah,
Weird looking.
and they are
creature.
weird looking. The art they have
Google
is
images if you don't know.
the hippocampus, right? No,
Or
hippo-
both of them.
Both.
Wait, hippocampus is the horse and fish.
horse and fish.
Yes, that's the one I was
That's
thinking
the
of.
one that's like
Hippocampus.
because the hippogriff is the horse and hawk. It's a little better.
Okay, that's a little better.
Oh,
Yes.
just a little bit.
A little bit.
When you put scales on anything that has fur, is weird, right?
It's the,
I mean, that's my opinion. But,
except for Slithy Tail, but that's all right.
Does it have
but I love
scales?
the idea of what the role play that could happen with these. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's really a
absolutely.
unique thing that can happen.
Most of them you have, so for the advanced, if you don't know, you have to be at or above the level of that creature
Yep.
to be able to bond with it. A lot of them were 6th and 14th, if I remember correctly.
That sounds all right.
Six
I
and
scrolled
14.
off, but yeah.
So especially the big one, when you're in 14th level, it's pretty epic play
Yeah.
already. So that's
Yeah.
something to build up to, anticipation,
There's a lot in this book.
and say goodbye
There's
to
a
your
lot.
regular companion if you had one before.
Well, you can keep them around.
Yeah,
you just can't have them all at
like
the same
Ash
time.
keeps all his
Right.
Taurus around.
I mean, this book is chock full of awesome things to add to, especially a druidic or wild campaign. Grafting that is really unique.
Rangers too. Didn't Rangers get a pretty good overhaul in remaster?
Yeah, Rangers are definitely a little bit.
So they're also getting some new companions, and is it just dog butt? That's all we got.
Yeah, dog butt.
Dog butt instead of
Dog
dog meat.
Sorry.
She likes the cold floor instead of her bed because it's hot.
And real quick, another quick shout out because I know we're gonna spend time on it, but the idea of playing a were creature. Can you bring up the were shark?
The were shark.
Listen, I've been sharing this.
It's giving me Ninja Turtle
So
vibes.
which half is what? Like,
Well, you're going to see here in a second, but that is
really important.
that is really important. Do I have teeth or fins? But they have a whole bunch of were creature options.
Yeah.
Were bat, were bear, were boar, were crocodile, were moose, were rat. The were moose is actually.
So I'm just seeing a little kid going, "Where moose? Where moose? Where bear?"
But just the idea, the were moose looked epic. I don't know if you saw the art for that one too.
I did see that
Oh,
one.
I don't know. There was something about it. Just I
Scary.
loved it. Like I could play a were moose, like a were squirrel. Yeah,
There he
absolutely.
is.
Why not?
He is and that's
He's
fair.
scary.
A moose in real life.
Oh my
is
gosh,
like-
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Terrifying.
Because you a barbaric were moose.
Yes, that's what I
like
was saying.
Don't moose
oh
kill
my.
a lot of people?
Yeah, they do. They're actually really dangerous creatures. But yeah, no.
Were
This-
squirrel. Sorry. Casual gamers.
Why not?
Why not? They're here. Why not?
Well, no, wait. I got jumped because I'm thinking awakened animals.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah,
We'll get that's.
sorry.
Well, I mean, we could dive right into that
right
next,
where I
I
went
guess.
to.
but
Yeah,
then-
we should.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Oh, there he is, the were shark.
The were. Oh yeah, the were. It just looks epic to me. Like I don't know.
I would laugh.
Right. Well, the best part
Was
of
it
it,
Ninja Turtles? Like
it'd be
this
best part if you
existed.
paid like a passive were shark fighter. Like, no, I don't
Yes,
want.
casual games like Street Sharks. Yes,
Yeah, street sharks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, this exists. This happened.
But I don't know. The idea of it just sounded really, really entertaining to me. What page am I on? Awakened Animals. 22. So many pages. We do take notes here sometimes.
We do, and then we don't follow.
My secretary. We don't follow the notes. We break. All right. So that leads us into were creatures. Leads us into awakened creatures.
Yeah.
Awakened animals specifically. Now
So
I've been
exciting.
waiting for this for a very long time. So I know I'm going to digress here, and I know we're running late, and I love it, but
There's a lot to talk about.
this book is filled with epic stuff, and I've been really looking forward to a lot of these things in this book. And so, some of my favorite shows growing up, I really loved Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I really loved the dog. No, but I really loved Redwall. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the series, but it's like little mice and badgers and hares, and it's great. I read it with the children. The adventures are fantastic, and it's usually defending. But I've never had a good system to play it in. Like, I've done a little bit in Open Legend. I just didn't get the vibe I wanted. I've done it in some other systems. It works, but now I can do it in Pathfinder 2nd Edition with Awakened Animals. You literally get to play an animal that has awakened.
And there's something about Pathfinder too. You're not just reflavoring something.
Yes.
That it's such
there.
a tight system that
a tight
it
system.
has to be built that way, so you feel like mechanically you are
Doing the right thing.
awakened animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, the oh, we got something.
What is he? What
Great
are you doing?
mustache. Want a Were Shark NPC and Kingmaker game? Could be at Bridge. Oh gosh.
Bridge.
So I guess we're gonna digress a smidgen. Sorry guys, we'll jump back. Our wonderful supporter and fantastic friend, great mustache, thank you, has just requested that there be a Were Shark in a game. So we're running a server-wide Kingmaker game. So please come check it out. Check out our Patreon.
Yes.
I mean, as low as $5, and you could be entertained.
Yep.
I'm telling
Very.
you,
Yeah.
very
For real.
entertained.
The
It is-
play by
gosh, it's
post is
awesome.
wildly
you know,
awesome.
Check it out. It also helps us make this awesome content,
Yes.
and
Truly.
you know, just.
We couldn't do it without all you guys.
love
I know
you
a lot
guys.
of you guys are in chat here.
But now we have a Were Shark that's being requested in Bridgetown. So you'll have to figure out what that means. I will maybe.
He shows up and then gets harpooned.
Yeah. Oh, I should make it kill. Never mind. All right, back to Awakened Animals.
Jacob never kills his players or characters.
Literally, I've already had one in the past 24 hours, okay?
What does TPK stand for? Is it the player or the person?
Total player kill.
Total party kill. It's total party kill, but she actually made me question it when she's like, well, does TPK stand for total player killer? I'm like, yes. Awesome. So, Awakened Animals. You literally just choose an animal that you want to play in, and they give you how to do it. It's very interesting. So, with Ancestries, it's your base hit points. Well, it's so well done. Sorry. With your hit points, you can literally get, if you're a creature that's tiny or small, it's 6 HP. If you're a medium creature, 8 HP is what you start with, and then as you grow levels, it goes up. And then if you're large, it's 10 HP. Size, same thing. You're literally just an animal that stands up. Obviously, you're going to want to work with your GM to decide how you're wearing armor and stuff like that. But they got some great imagery of a badger and, well, what do you got? What do you got for me, Kara?
Which one do you want?
Just pick one.
I like
So right
the
here-
badger.
They actually have this really cool
Honey badger don't
bird.
Honey badger don't care.
And it looks like a monk. And
Oh, I love that one.
I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I do love the idea of a whole
Like a
group.
heron?
Is it doing like crane style?
Yeah, crane style. Why not? Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
That's funny.
Do Kung Fu Panda.
yeah, exactly.
Do the whole
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
to me, this book, I've run a lot of games with children, and to me,
Yeah.
and adult children too. But to me,
We all are. Yes.
this is a great way to bring younger ones in. Kung Fu Pathfinder, absolutely. So.
That's good.
That's good. Because children love playing as animals. Like, it's a thing. Well,
Oh, yeah.
the book Animorphs, stuff like that. You know, the idea of being an animal, you know?
Absolutely.
And it's really cool because it's like you're an awakened form. And they even have great lore to go along with it, too, if you wanted to convince your GM to let it in. But the idea, and that they often are in charge of like groups of animals and stuff like that. And they like kind of look out because they're more intelligent. They become awakened. So it's really exciting. We'll go to the heritages real quick.
Yeah.
Climbing animal, flying animal, running animal, swimming animal. And then with the swimming, you actually get to choose if you're just a water dwelling, like a crocodile, or are you actually like full blown underwater? You know what I mean? Like a fish or whatever. Now, of course, like I said, you have to really work with your GM because, you know, is a fish going to be able to hold a spear? Well, it's a fantasy world. Why not, right? They got strong fins.
They got strong fins.
One strong fin, one weak fin.
Flexible.
Flexible fins.
Just do what they do with the 𝑴𝒍𝒂𝒃𝒃 and stuff like that. Just give them hands and fins.
Now I'm uncomfortable. Because you
Out
gave
of
it
the
hands.
water, glorious.
Listen, none of the
dripping wet.
images I've seen have
They start
hands.
laughing.
What's the shark got? I thought the shark had hands.
Yeah, but he's a were-shark.
Okay,
different.
fair enough.
So he's half human,
He's
half shark.
All
Well,
right,
these are
all
just
right.
fully
They're just-
awakened animals.
Animals.
I gotta say it different.
I know it's good. Just do the
I
Finding
love it.
Nemo. Their fins are very curly.
So a lot of things that really it just excites me. And DM Tales, you kind of mentioned it. You could actually run like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles campaign.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like with your awakened turtles. I
Yeesh.
just that sounds like fun.
And a
Kids
rat.
always want to play animals.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
always
Always.
do.
Oh, I mean,
or have animal companions, which
Yes.
is
Wow.
also in there.
which is also in here.
Yeah.
So this is a great book to me. This is like child's book. It's not, but you know. Mm-hmm. All right, I've covered the basis of why I like them, and like I said, they have feats 1 to 20, so you can play your character all the way up. I do got a quick shout out before we jump to your character.
Oh yeah.
One creature that my wife was excited about. You gonna talk?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Centaurs. Who was it?
Centaur.
Centaur.
I think it was Rex. Was it in our last episode? Someone was asking me about making a character.
Yes, it was Rex.
And it was Rex, and I do have a centaur character, halfling centaur character that we played,
We did.
named Morgan Percheron.
do you
After
remember
some
that?
of
He
my
is a
two
miniature
She had the-
pony. I forgot.
And she had the tractor. Remember?
She had a
literally
centaur
had a
operatable
centaur.
tractor.
Operatable tractor.
The pedals with the
Yep. And it was like, yeah, it was like a pony. It was a miniature
and now
horse.
you can just do it We don't have to homebrew
And we spent a
anymore.
lot of time figuring out how to create this halfling
And what it would
centaur.
look like. It was
It
ridiculous.
was great. I'm going to play it again now. That's
No, we're gonna remake it. We gotta make
Yes.
Morgan Pertron in Pathfinder now.
Yep.
Right.
Because they also with the centaurs, I know I'm digressing a little bit. With
No,
the
you're good.
centaurs, they have a smaller sized one specifically for like quarter horses or smaller. There I am. What are you
No,
laughing?
it's
What are you giggling about?
Totally
miniature
works.
pony.
Yeah.
The halfling.
With a halfling body, dude, it's so great. And like they have a mixture of like similar. So the
One of its ability has to be it's just too cute when it's charging at you.
Yeah,
You
it's-
can't defend.
if only we had this there in our nobles Waterdeep,
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that would be
dude. I'm getting all hot and bothered over here.
Horsey. Yeah.
House
Yeah.
horsey.
House Horsey would have loved
Check
this.
out the Nobles campaign.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, name.
Now I want a remake of all.
That's good. I love
right.
I love
I love
these
centaurs.
games.
Yeah.
So great.
All right. So centaurs, they're in here too.
Drink, click and drink on that.
Click
one.
and drink that one. Thank you.
Fine.
He wants a fluffy pony that murders the stag lord. All right. So Kristen, what
Yeah.
jumped out at you in this book?
Well, it's actually at the very end. So it starts on page 200. So these are the Wardens of the Wild that are beautiful creatures. So they are level 22 creatures that protect nature. So there are 4 different wardens. There's the warden of caverns and burrows, forests and meadows, oceans and rivers, and peaks and skies. And so I was brought in by the art, really.
Yes.
I was like, these things are so cool. The warden of caverns and burrows is like this magma bug creature. They're all gargantuan. So they're all huge creatures. And he can bury beneath stone. He can call to depths. What is that? So they long jump and they can use any unused movement from long jump to burrow. So, yeah. So, yes.
But when you're doing, you're picturing a gargantuan
It's
creature.
huge.
This is not.
Yeah.
This is not whittle.
And it's magma,
What is
too.
that?
So it has...
30 foot,
At least.
right? It's
I gotta remember.
Its speed is 40. Its burrow is 40.
Right. I was looking at how much on a grid map it would take up.
Yeah. Yeah,
double
yeah.
checking because you don't deal with a lot of gargantuan.
It's got a magma jet.
It's 20 foot by 20 foot by
Okay,
at
20.
least 20 foot. Yeah,
Yes.
like
Still.
So you could kind of match these with the nymphs, too, because the nymphs kind of have their wardens kind of things, too. So you can kind of connect them a little bit. So you can have a magma-loving nymph who lives in the caverns. And so, yeah, that one. And then I like the warden of forests and meadows.
Oh my
I think it
gosh.
is so pretty.
oh so.
So it's like this
gives me,
fox creature
like
with
Miyazaki
trees.
vibes.
Yeah, Miyazaki vibes. Yeah. So it's got these trees on its head, and that one has like polymorph kind of stuff. It has let's see, what else does it have? Wild trickery,
magical pounds.
magical pounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Sneak attack. So it seems like it's a little bit more
Stealthy.
stealthy.
Well, the idea is
kind
it
of
just
stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
disappears into the woods.
Right.
So
Yes.
you might not even know you're near it. Like you could literally, the way the art to me, your characters could walk through it.
I mean, it looks like it. Yeah, it would blend in with the trees
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, and the
Just
roots.
She's got it up
have the
now.
art
She just
out.
put it
If
up,
you
yeah.
imagine that like laying down and sleeping, so it looks like a hill
Yeah.
with a trees
With
at
some
the
like
top.
interesting, like, well, even like a massive vine mess. So
Oh,
it's like you're just
yeah,
kind of like
right.
navigating through this like
This
wild.
difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it moves.
So I love that one. That one's my favorite.
I like the horn on top.
so pretty.
It's literally called a horned
a
crown.
horned crown.
You're like-
yeah, and it has piercing damage and poison.
Yeah, it's quite deadly.
Epic.
Kristen plays a ranger.
Never noticed.
Not always.
Not always.
and a witch.
And a witch.
Oceans and rivers. So this one kind of looks like a jellyfish kind of thing. That one's really pretty too. It has bioluminescence maelstrom. So the Warden's Wrath conjures a dazzling storm around them that makes the area difficult terrain. So I imagine, is that like its tentacles and stuff, or I don't know?
Well, think about to me, I'm picturing
like
a maelstrom of like water tentacles,
just like blasting them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's got these tentacles, so it can attack with those. It's got a swim
Especially, like,
speed
if
of
you
100
light,
feet. So
Yeah, blinding. Yeah.
yeah,
Swim speed 100 feet. That's
swim speed of
fast.
100 feet. Yeah, so these things are like, and they're all gargantuan. So like that would be absolutely terrifying.
You know what stuck out to me was the ability. I am the tide.
I am the tide. Yes.
It creates 3 lines of rushing water. I am the tide.
Yes. Oh, it's epic. And the last
You ain't
one,
outrunning that. No,
Yeah.
no,
No,
you're
no
not.
way. And Peaks and Skies, which is another one I really love the art for. It's kind of like Griffin-esque.
Well,
I
it gives me
guess.
the Articuno, the Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle will pull it up here in a second. But
And Ninetales, because it's
yeah, it's kind of got like a
tails,
weird
too.
mix.
and 4 wings. So that one had something where it could, I thought, pick something up and throw it down into the ground. Like that's one of its
Yeah.
attacks.
That's awesome.
Well, let me read one of the attacks.
Yeah.
The Warden flies 240 feet upward in a straight line, and as she does so, the ground in a 30-foot burst from her starting point rises into the sky with you.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
So it's like the
Yep. And then literally, it actually
It's very
makes a rocky
anime-esque.
pillar underneath, too.
oh my
Like,
gosh.
so it's like air and peaks. So it's like,
Air and mountain. Yeah, sky and mountain.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool.
The
That's
last thing I had
crazy.
is that there is a spell that you can have of Summon a Warden of the Wild. It's a level 8 spell.
Which that's really high. There's not,
It's really
so it's
high,
rank
yeah.
8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but they changed it in the remaster, so we're still adjusting fully. So rank 8's very end game, because rank 10's the highest.
Yeah.
So,
So,
like-
you can bring in one of these. You can choose them, and depending on which one you choose, you get different
Where,
kinds of.
do you know where that spell was? What page?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm
Remember
curious.
where I
Control F.
saw it.
I'm curious if it's the rarity of that spell.
Right.
Because if I had a player that wanted this, the idea of going for like a quest line to
Right.
befriend this warden, so that you can then later on summon them. Which
That would be cool.
Sorry.
no, go.
It's giving me Naruto vibes with
Yeah.
the spirits inside certain people,
Yes.
and then learning to control that, and then be able to summon it out.
yeah.
That would be really cool.
So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I definitely could see. I'm excited to see how the books end for the quest line they've built for this, the adventure path that, and just the mixture. And they also did add, just to point out a couple of little things. Are you good? Sorry, I'm jumping.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
I love it.
It is really pretty. And then the idea of those creatures being out there in the wild is just really cool. They added some siege weaponry things. We were looking at it earlier today, which I think is really cool. The idea is, I believe they call it, is it bestial siege? Big game siege
Big
weapons.
game siege
That's what it was.
weapons, yes.
It was something else that really jumped out to me because
Big game meaning.
big game. Yeah. Page 114 if you're not already there. I know I jumped on you. I didn't plan on this one. But they added, the idea is, conventional weapons are sometimes ineffective against massive beasts that rampage across the countryside, right? Because we deal with those. Crushing villages and stampeding through armies. Brave hunters looking to take down such behemoths turn to specifically designed siege weapons. So we're just glancing through. There's some really unique siege weapons within there.
It makes me think the opening of Princess Mononoke, where that boar is just charging through. It's like the size of a house.
Yes,
They're
right.
Just hunting that.
But that's a cool idea to put in your
Yes.
games, where it's like, just a mixture of things. But they added, and something I've been asking for, especially with the War of Immortals coming out and all kinds of things, is more siege weaponry, more troop stuff. I mean, if this is just a taste of what we're about to get, I'm excited. So they have harpoon cannon, which is really cool. The idea of like airships battling a massive creature and like harpooning it, trying to take it down, kind of thing. I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea to me. But they don't only add like damaging things. They have things that are in here to like slow the creature or capture the creature or stop the creatures, because it's not all about killing the big game. Sometimes it's about capturing them.
Saw the blob paste propulsor.
Yeah.
And it's like you shoot goo at it.
Yep.
Viscous
You
gunk.
have a slime from Battlezoo Ancestries shooting a goo propulsor.
That's funny.
So, and one of the other ones was like, it was like a marking cannon. You hit them with paint or something to mark them and
Marking
track
powder.
them. Yeah.
Oh, did you pull? Casual Gamer had a
I
question.
do
on
actually.
the
I just
warden
pulled. I
spell?
just found
Okay.
it. So the summon Warden of the Wild spell. Just to jump back, one more little topic. Sorry. It is a primal spell. It is a rare spell. So I definitely would make this a quest line for somebody.
Yeah.
Like it. You know.
Right.
The idea is that they've heard of these wardens and they want to seek them out to befriend and summon them. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I don't know.
No, I love that.
Both of these
So
books
cool.
have been filled with epic things for sure.
Super inspirational too. That's the cool thing about both Roll for Combat and Pathfinder content. I've always found between the art and the way it's built,
Yeah.
it just gets you creating stuff in your head.
I mean, look, we already did it here.
See, I know. I really want to play a dungeon.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, Roll for Combat, they make their stuff for Pathfinder 2nd Edition and 5th Edition,
Right.
D&D, which is epic. But the Pathfinder 2nd Edition just goes so well, and it fits in, and it's so well. I get really leery about third-party content. I'm not worried about this one. I already looked through it. I'm like, this is balanced.
yeah.
It's well written.
Right.
I'm not worried about it. I let my players play with it. I have a couple dragons in my campaigns. And at first I was a little nervous that it was going to be way too overpowered, but it's not. They do a wonderful job. They also made the Dragon Ancestries.
Right. Yep.
So,
Check out our live stream where we play with Stephen Glicker and Mark Seifter
yeah. It was
playing
awesome.
That-
dragons.
It's very unexpected.
It's
It's so great.
I
a
still
great
love the
game.
OSHA one.
yes,
Keep
I
it
know.
on your toes.
Stephen and Mark took their dragons in very different directions.
I loved it.
And it was perfect. It was.
Awesome. Well, I think that pretty much covers these books pretty well. Apparently, I need to get a _shark in our Kingmaker campaign.
Got to get on that.
Gotta get on it. Just have them walk out nonchalantly.
Harpoon. Poop.
As soon as it's released for Foundry VTT, I will think about it.
Oh,
No, it's
that's
probably
true.
going to happen. I don't. That's not topic. For
Oh,
you.
that's an interesting question. I don't know if we know. Have they announced anything with Howl of the Wild?
It'll be. They're probably already working on it.
Yeah.
Path Builder and Foundry VTT will probably be. Honestly, by the end of the month, I'd almost bet money on it'll be there. So, which is not long, but they're good.
Yeah.
And the dev team for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition module for Foundry VTT doesn't even get paid. It's
I didn't know that.
No, they
Oh
don't.
my gosh,
it's
all
one of the best
volunteer.
automated systems in Foundry VTT that there
Yeah,
is.
it really
and they
is.
don't even take money. They want you to donate to one of their charities.
Oh, that's awesome.
Freaking
man.
awesome. And
Yeah.
it runs smooth. Sorry.
It's the.
but
I know
digress.
you get spoiled. We play in Pathfinder 2e for a
It's
while in
done so
Foundry, and we
well.
go anywhere else, and it's not the same.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys for all being
Yeah.
here. This was fun. Such good books. If you have any questions, hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yeah.
We're gonna record some behind the scenes content next. So join the Evergrowing Forest,
Nibbling?
known as Avenue Studios. To become a part of the Evergrowing Forest, known as Avenue Studios, by joining our locals or Patreon community. Doing so not only helps us continue to create high quality content, but you'll also gain access to bonus content, as well as our private Discord and our Kingmaker campaign. Check out Patreon and locals for descriptions on that. There are different tiers.
Sorry, our dog is dreaming.
Oh, she's dreaming. And help us feed our puppy and our children.
Not to _sharks, though.
Right. She better pee outside soon. Let's put it that way. But now I'm off script.
My bad.
So
I killed it.
Sorry.
check out the links in the description below for Battlezoo Ancestries Classic Creatures, as well as Howl of the Wild from Pathfinder, for Pathfinder 2nd Edition from Paizo, and as well as the music and ambience that we use. And thank you guys so much for joining this chat. It is time for the last clink and drink.
Oh, yeah, my wife.
Double clink. School. We'll see you next time.
guys.
Oh, wait, quick shout out before we go. Sorry, Mush. Did I?
All right.
No, she's still there. She didn't do it.
I forgot. next Saturday, we are playing with the team from Phase AR.
Oh, yes.
So check that out. FAESA.AR. Phase AR. I don't have links in here for now, but I'll be doing some social media posts in a little bit. But we are going to be playing with them in a Shadow Dark game. They have an augmented reality thing. You can actually have your costumes
cool.
on. Have your costumes on for your
It's
character
cool.
and
So
stuff.
fun.
If you're in our
So-
Discord, I'll share a picture probably on Tuesday when I have office hours.
Yes. So check that out, Phase AR. And then June 1st, so then we'll have Druid's Table, I think.
Yep.
Maybe not. I don't know.
No.
June 1st
Maybe.
is the next Saturday. We are going to be playing with Tales of Legend, play testing their system with Wes from DM Tales and Dave from Grimwood Games. So we're going to have a bunch of actual plays, and then we'll be back with some more Druid's Table. And who knows what will happen. Also, side note, in signing out, 𝐼𝑒𝐵𝒖𝑘𝑚 is running Funko Pops now. So there you go.
Good luck, collectors.
Now we can click.
Now we can click.
And
Oh,
drink.
yeah.
Cynthia Williams. I said that wrong.
That's
Cynthia
all
Williams,
good. It's all
Funko
good.
Pops,
And there
whatever.
is no break between the 25th and the 1st. So
2 games in a row.
2 games.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
She said goodbye.
Yeah.
She's sad.
Wait.